and the kids seem very excited for us to be here, so I'm excited to be here too. I love all of the drawings and how much color there is at this school. I was expecting it to be, I guess I was expecting there to be less in the classrooms, but because they have the Proyecto de Ayuda, they have drawings all over the walls and everything, and I just thought it was very bright and colorful. All the kids, we saw them playing, and it made me really excited for what was to come.
I was really excited when I first showed up. Kids were running everywhere, which I enjoyed. And I was really excited to get into my classroom and meet my kids. But I was nervous because back in the United States, I've only taught up to 1st grade. And here I'm in like 3rd and 4th grade. So I was nervous because I knew it would be a little challenging.
More friends to play with? Do you want me to write that on the board for you?
I think walking into the school, it was really different just to see that the school is more of like an open layout, and that the classrooms are really the only rooms that are inside, and then the hallways are kind of outside. And then just the freedom that the students have is different. The whole classroom environment there's still classroom management and classroom management techniques going on, but it just works a little different, and the kids are always constantly like seeking approval with their work from the other classmates and from the teachers. They always are like, Tia, look, and in between activities, so it's different.
I put it with my fingers.
Back home I'm with high schoolers, so that's been different being with a 2nd grade classroom. I've had to have my energy on 10 all the time for the 2nd graders, but I think teaching elementary school is really fun.
Okay, so let's see, what are the teams? 1, 2, 3, 4. So we were reviewing for the exam, and they were playing trash ball. And that's actually Mr. Travis's game, but the students really, really like it. So when we get a chance to do it, we always let them play. Sometimes we'll have them read, and they have to come up with the questions. Today, what you saw, I just used the questions from the exam. I'll ask you first, and then I'll ask you a different question. And you can shoot for 1 point, 2 points, and let's have 3 points back for Mr. Travis, yes? Because in Sexto, we have a very different level of English. Some people don't know anything, and some people are fluent. So it's just a huge range, and that's actually my most difficult class to plan for because it's so diverse. But trash ball always helps them because it brings everybody in, and everybody wants to answer their questions correctly so that they get a chance to shoot. What did the Egyptians call their rulers? What was another name? Do you remember what they called them? Alright, do you want to shoot for 1 point, 2 points, or 3 points?
3 points. I need that.
You want to go for the 3? Alright, you can go 3 points by Mr. Travis. Otherwise, 2 is right here by this way.
Let's go, Anna.
Alright, here she goes. And... Okay. Book. About the different parts. All these pictures. There's little footnotes at the bottom. Think about all the structures.
As CDI, what we would like to provide to student teachers that come to Ecuador would just basically be a world perspective. We'd like to help them become citizens of the world. I think it's very important for student teachers, for the teachers of the world that are basically training the future of generations to come and the future of our planet. I think it's very important that these individuals kind of see how things work on other sides of the world. And you know, we're not too far away from the United States, but things are done very differently here. And I think it's important that the teachers of the future have a grasp of what it means to educate people that are different from you. And because that enriches you, and you know, they could go back home and take all of those experiences and help build future global citizens that will be responsible, that will be tolerant, that will be respectful, and that will be accepting of differences and of other cultures.
What number? 10. Good job. For one of my big lessons last week, we talked about all different body parts. So with this young of an age group, and this class especially, they don't speak any English. So I felt like singing a song with them would help them remember the different body parts, and they love it. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Eyes and ears and mouth and nose. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. They love singing it when we aren't even doing it, and they get really fast when they do it fast. We do it really quiet sometimes, and it's a lot of fun. Should we go really, really fast? Yeah. Okay, ready? Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Eyes and ears and mouth and nose. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Good job!
I love it, honestly. I don't want to go, to be honest. 2 weeks left, and it's coming to fruition faster than I expected. I love the students, which is awesome, and then also getting to know faculty has been a really huge part of it. So I don't know. I feel like a part of the family, and it's kind of sad that I'm going to get ready and leave in 2 weeks. So.
But you don't scare me, so go away, scraggly purple hair. Go away.
This one. So look at this one. What's the shape of here? A heart? Okay, so you found a heart, that's good, but where is it located? Is it on the top or on the bottom?
Good job, Simeon. What's your name?
Is it, right, this one's on the bottom and this one's where?
Heart.
On blocks?
Or you could read some books. Okay? You could read some books. So Nina, you could play with the blocks on the floor, or you could read some books. How many is in here? Should we count them? 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. How about here?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
How many are here?
1,
2,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
The rural school was so much different from even Sadai because there's only 2 teachers, so there's only 2 classrooms with multi-age students, and those students were so well behaved and so responsible for their own learning. When the teacher was working with one grade level, the other grade level was doing what they were supposed to do and working quietly at their table, and that was very different both from Sadai school here but also schools in the US. If a teacher were to walk away and tell them to do their work, I don't think they'd necessarily sit and do exactly what they were told.
En el círculo. ¿Quién se puso a? ¿Quién estuvo acá?
El ratón.
Muy bien, el ratón. Mira, el ratón.
Those students were also so excited to see us, and not that the students here at Sadai aren't excited that we're here, but when we went to the rural school, they couldn't get enough hugs and interaction from us, so it was really great.
The hiking at all places, Tchrs and Serguro, were beautiful. I'm gonna miss the mountains for sure because the landscape is amazing. Tchrs, we saw a lot of different plants that we wouldn't see, I guess, in the US. So that was fun to do.
If you see on the top, you will see some clouds. So usually, depends on the time of the year, the clouds come down and cover the majority of this area. Of course, in afternoon and getting to the night. But looks like a spirit. And in the time of the Incas, Cañaris, and all these indigenous groups, they used to actually feel in touch a lot with the nature. So all of this was a big part of these beliefs. The best quality of the things you mainly will find in the markets along Ecuador, not only Ecuador, Peru, Bolivia, they also have these animals and sell the fur, is mainly alpaca. You never, actually, well not never, but usually you don't gonna find llama, maybe sweaters or llama blankets. Usually it's alpaca because it's the best quality.
One thing that I remember from Ingapirca was that it's ruins from two different groups, from the Cañaris and from the Incas. And I remember that they built in two different ways. One of them built in oval shapes, and then the other group built in rectangle shapes. So it was interesting that there was ruins from two different groups kind of combined into one area, and you can tell which ones was from which groups.
Ingapirca is a Quechua word. If we translate Ingapirca to English, it means the Inca's wall, or the wall of the Inca. Okay? This place was called, before the Incas, Hatun Cañari. Hatun Cañari means the big Cañari nation, or the big Cañaris.
The guide was very helpful. He knew a lot of information, which was nice. The buildings at Ingapirca was really interesting because they didn't use like any cement with it. So how he explained it, that they had to cut all the rocks perfectly so they could build a building, and that those buildings are still standing is really neat.
Not even a blade could make go through their construction, see? See how precise it is? And also looking like a pillow.
So Cañar is also a very beautiful place that we go to. It's only an hour and a half away, but yet it gives the student the experience of being in a different province because it's not in the province of Azuay anymore. Of course, it's the province of Cañar. And there's lots to do, and even though the cities or the city centers may seem similar to what like the downtown of Cuenca is, people still have, you know, kind of more of, it's like indigenous urban. They do things a little differently, and just you really get that small town feel by seeing a few streets that, you know, don't have pavement on them, or by seeing some people even riding horses. It gives the student an experience of going to a Cuenca that was like 15 years ago, not even too long ago.
Right. Melcocha is good for the attitude. You take some of this, you know. You should partake, right?
Suck on it. Qué rico.
Ahí. ¿Puedes regalar una fotito teniendo esa? Ahí es.
So we went into the meat market and there was the pigs, and we were able to try the pigs in the yapingacho, and it was a lot better than I thought. It tasted really good. I liked it a lot.
Un platito para las disfrutes, no tiene. Hold on guys, I'm buying.
The yapingacho was really good. They have so many different kinds of potatoes here. I really like yuca too, but with the hornado, the yapingacho it added like an extra flavor to it, so it wasn't just hornado and salad.
Saraguro es mi tierra, donde vi la luz primera, esplendor de sus maizales, es el alma de mi pueblo.
Saraguro is a beautiful indigenous town that's located south of Cuenca. And even though it's about 3 hours away, it's quite different from what we know as, you know, our normal life and our routines and our religious points of views and the concept of family as well, and just certain traditions that we have. They're very welcoming people, very warm people. They're very calm people as well. Yeah, I think that some of the students, that's what they take away from that as well. But the spiritualness that they have, and, you know, just the positive vibes that these people as a community and the sense of community that they have, I think is a valuable lesson for all of our students, and I think that's one of the most important reasons why we include this cultural excursion as part of our programs, because our programs aren't only academic, but our programs also want to provide the cultural part of it, the different sense of how other people do things.
Saraguro, and it was probably my favorite trip. I absolutely loved being that high up in the Andes Mountains. Wait, stay like that, stay like that.
Yeah, it was really interesting when we got to the house in Saraguro and they all gave us the wahango drink, and I don't remember the word that you say when you drink it.
Más o menos el runa Saraguro toma así. Ishkande, 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 ishkande.
But everybody says this greeting, and then everybody passes around this drink for everybody to share, and it wasn't too bad. It was pretty good, but I didn't drink too much because they said it would make us pretty sick. So
hay que para
Luego poner.
I remember about Sargo, the weaving place, that I think that even though the lady's mom had like been in an accident that the day of, she was still very open, and I loved trying learning how to weave and trying that, because I was one of them that got to try that, and seeing all of the handmade beads, and it was cool.
Por ahí. Depende si quiere más oscuro, mi mamá los hierven por mucho tiempo más, por unas 3 horas si quiere. Y si quiere así medio cambiado de blanco, los hierve por una media hora, por 1 hora, 2 horas.
Before, I was not 100% sure if I wanted to come. I was kind of still debating up until like the last minute to whether or not it was worth the money, or if I wanted to leave my family for 2 months. But I think I definitely would have regretted it if I hadn't come, because I've had such an amazing experience here, and I've loved everything we've gotten to do. So I'm very glad I came.
I had actually considered not coming about a month before. I wasn't sure financially if I'd be able to do it. It was kind of a steep price, but if I wouldn't have come here, I would have missed out on life-changing opportunities. I absolutely love it here. I'm actually trying to come back, but just the people, the culture, the school, I really like it here. And it's just a different way of life, and I think that if you can, it's really important to travel outside of the United States at least once in your life, because you'll learn so much. My lovely Whitewater ladies, I would love to give a shout out if I can. I think you are all fabulous people. I'm so grateful that you were part of my group. Very rarely can you have 8 or 9 people who all get along as well as we did, and I just feel really grateful that I was welcomed into the Whitewater group. And I know all you guys think there is in Iowa is corn, but if you want to come visit me sometime, I'd love to have you, and I look forward to seeing you guys, and I wish you all the best with wherever life takes you. You're wonderful.